What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Shiranui Flame of Team Culture Kings, and I'm going to be talking about and showcasing my new Monarch deck. Monarch is unplayable, but I still wanted to try to make it playable, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was not successful. I have done like 20 duels, and it's just, there's really nothing that you can do to domain Monarchs with Ether at 1, Stormforth at 1, and Pantheism at 1 to even make that shit a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a thing. I don't really know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know what to say. But I guess we'll search our 1 Pantheism. I agree with Pantheism being at 1. Like, don't get me wrong. I agree at Stormforth being at 1 as well. What I do not agree with is the fact that Ether is also at 1, because that really slows the deck down, like really hard. And this guy's gonna be pissed off because we're gonna Stormforth his Blue Eyes for Majesty's Fiend, and he pretty much probably might have lost a duel right there, unless he Twin Twisters our back row and he can get Gospel to get that Blue Eyes on the board, which I don't see it happening. Yeah, and we're further gonna make the lock relevant with Domain. You know what I'm saying? Domain is something that didn't get hit though. In OCG, I believe that Domain is at 1, but here they didn't touch it. And you know, I kind of agree that Domain isn't the problem. It's the insane draw power that the deck has. Like, that's definitely the problem. But I just don't understand the Ether hit on top of the Stormforth and Pantheism hit. And honestly, like, just to the Domain and the Pantheism hit would have made Monarch, it would have made Monarch not good anymore, just like it did in the OCG. You know what I'm saying? Because see, look, this is what I was waiting for. Yes, you didn't have Twin Twister, you lost. What are you gonna do now? Yes. I don't see what he's gonna do now, man. He can't activate any monster effects to get anything going now. Yeah, you're in trouble, buddy. You are in trouble. But yeah, man, it's such a shame. Like, don't be fooled by this video and by me fucking going off on this guy playing his deck, because trust me, this shit is not good. Like, this deck is inconsistent as hell with just 1 Pantheism and only 1 Stormforth. Like, it just so happens to be that we could have searched our Pantheism and we could get our Stormforth this match, but that's not always gonna happen. Really, I want to say 50% of the time I've just straight up bricked playing this deck, like straight up bricked. And it's not because of my build, because my build is probably close to as good as it's gonna get. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely just due to the issues at hand here. And what the fuck? You cannot special summon mouse for next one's card. Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Majesty's Fiend was on board. That's why we couldn't get Erebus effect. No big deal, right? Because it's doing more harm to him than it is to us. Like, that's a fact. He even has it on Ignore Chain because he doesn't have anything. But yeah, Tribute Burial is a card that's coming up for the deck. I believe it's going to be in Raging Tempest. I'm not sure. Maybe. Oh, actually, I haven't used it, so I can't quite check right now. But it's coming in like the next couple sets, at the very least. And that card is pretty good. The only thing is, you can't use Ether's effect. You cannot use Ether's effect after you use that, because Ether has a mandatory special summon after it dumps the spell and trap cards to the grave, and Tribute Burial says that you can't special summon for the rest of that turn. Like, you can't special summon that turn. So yeah, you don't even get Ether's effect. So let's get into the deck. Let's get into the deck profile itself. That was just a little throwaway duel against that Blue Eyes player. Do not take that as a benchmark for this deck being good, me beating that Blue Eyes player. The deck is not good. You know what I'm saying? We opened up very, very well, but most of the time you're not going to do that. Not with Pantheism being at 1, and not with Stormforth being at 1, and Ether also being at 1. You know what I'm saying? Like before, you used to want to get control, or even now, you still want to get control of either Ether or Erebus as fast as possible. So getting 2 just completely cut from you, and like not allowing you to dump your Pantheisms and dump your original Monarchs or the Prime Monarch on board. I mean, dump into the grave. It really, really does hurt the deck. It hurts the deck quite hard. So this is the build that I'm running. I do not like getting Effect Veiler. That's one of the worst feelings in the world, is when you get Effect Veiler playing Monarchs. So for that reason, I'd rather play more Mithra, and I'd rather play more red layers than I would. And also, Majesty's Fiend validates Mithra a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have Dominion of the Monarch. So that's why I also like to run Mithra, because I am running the 2 Majesty's Fiend. I might honestly cut Kuraz, and the reason why I might cut Kuraz, because you just don't get him out. You know what I'm saying? You just don't get your 1 Ether anymore. You don't get it. So I probably might rather have Majesty's Fiend than Kuraz. Like I'm not quite sure. I'm not playing Gofu to pop the tokens, and the reason why I'm not playing Gofu is because Super Quantum red layer can be tributed. You know what I'm saying? And with Ether at 1, if I get Domain of the Monarchs through drawing it or searching it with Tenacity or using Pantheism in the graveyard for it, I want to get a way to be able to tribute summon and to search my 1 Ether. So for that reason, I might even step up Return to 2. Like I'm not quite sure on that. And I'm only running 1 Tribute Burial because going first, this card is completely useless. It's just a dead card in hand. Unless for whatever reason your opponent like maxes or uses a hand trap and actually puts a target into the grave for you to use. But I'm gonna tell you right now though, like going second, like opening Maxi and opening up Tribute Burial at the same time is the tits. It is the tits, because you're guaranteeing you're gonna have a target engraved by activating Maxi, and chances are your opponent is gonna have a target engraved as well for you to use Tribute Burial, because that's how all the main top decks work. Even Pendulum decks put targets engraved now. It's kind of crazy. So this is the deck profile. Real short, real sweet. Really nothing else has to be talked about. These are all cards that you've seen. I threw in the trade-ins because you have no choice but to play these to replace the draw power for Pantheism, and also get rid of some of these dead Monarchs in your hand. And well, all I gotta say is RIP Domain Monarchs. Do not play this shit. Shit is not good. If you want to play Monarchs, and you're better off just playing Gofu Monarchs or Quick Draw Synchron Monarchs to make Ultimaya Sulkin, because really that's like the best way to play this deck, and it's really the only way to play this deck. Do not take that replay against a Blue Eyes player as a benchmark for this shit. Like, trust me, do not take that as a benchmark. Shiranui Flame out.